Greetings all and welcome to Daily Pali Reading. Today we will begin a reading from the Petavatthu, which is found in the Khuddaka Nikaya. Petavatthu is a compound word. Vattu, object, real thing, and it can consequently mean subject, subject matter, or a story. And that's the meaning here. A story or stories. Peta means the deceased, and in this context, specifically, it means ghosts. And in this case, ghosts are not living a happy existence. These are sort of miserable existence ghosts due to some wrong they committed in a former life. And the structure of these readings is that a monk, some sort of senior monk who sees one of these ghosts and is inquiring about the ghost's status. Dibang subhang daresi vanadatung vehayasang tittasi antalike mukanchate kimayo putigandhang kadanti king kamam akasi pube. You bear a divine, shining appearance. You are situated in the sky between the earth, but worms are eating your putrid smelling mouth. What did you do formerly? Okay, so we can see right away that this ghost is not a completely happy ghost. But at first sight, maybe from a distance, it might appear to be sort of a happy ghost or a ghost that has gone on to a pretty happy existence. Now this passage is in verse. And in verse, we don't always encounter the word order that we might normally expect in the prose that we find in the suttas. We said before that this is due or can be due to metrical constraints, but it's also due to just being more poetic, wanting to put the words in certain places for a specific effect. What I did here, I've put in blue all of the verbs. So it's always good if we can find verbs, and then we can start to go from there to see if the verbs have objects, etc. So our first verb, daresi, second person singular present active indicative, means to wear, carry, bear, and we could even use the word wear. I mean, this is poetry, so it depends on if we're trying to really just convey the meaning or if we're trying to get some aspect of the art form to come across. So we have daresi, you are wearing, you carry, you're bearing, something like that. And then we have vanadatung. Now vana means beauty, and datung can mean like an element. Actually, it's datu, and this is the accusative, this is the object, I should say, of daresi. Vanadatung, according to the Pali English dictionary, means the composition or the condition of appearance, the specific form, the material form. Probably you carry the appearance, like overall, you wear the appearance or an appearance, but there are some adjectives here. The very first word that we encounter is divine. Dibang is divine. Again, it's accusative because it's going with vanadatung. Divine, subhang, shining. Divine, shining appearance. And just think for a minute, again, the first word here is divine. Divine, shining. You have this appearance. Then, tittasi, you are standing. Now that's, again, literal. Tittasi is you are standing, but it could be to be situated. In Greek, it's histemi. Actually, in Latin, it's stare, maybe. And it's just stand in English. Those are all cognates. You are standing, vehayasang, in the sky. And this is actually an accusative used in a locative sense. And then we have this antalike. When you look up this word, literally, it means between the sky and earth, according to the Pali English Dictionary. But they give the Sanskrit for it. I think it's more like between the field. And it's from a ksa. So I think we would take field to mean the land, the earth. So you're in the sky between the earth, something like that. So you're not standing on the ground, actually. So that's where we have to, using the word stand, but maybe you're situated. Really, we would probably say floating, although, with some reservations there. And then we have this cha. This is our adversative cha. So it's not, you could say and. I think in English we would say but. So you have this divine appearance, but kimayo. Kimayo comes from kimi, which is a worm. This is the accusative plural. So worms are, and now we have to go down here to another verb, kadanti. Worms are chewing, biting, devouring, eating, and then what's the object of that? Mukan. And actually, this would be, if we separated it, if it wasn't followed by cha, it would be mukang. So it's very easy to see it's an object there, it's an accusative. Worms are devouring, eating, biting the mouth, te, and this is our enclitic short form personal pronoun of you. Worms are eating your mouth. And then, and now this is why I put it in red here, if we jump to the other side of kimayo, puti gandang. Now this is made up of two words. Gandang is an aroma. Again, this is an accusative. Gandang, an aroma of puti. Now puti is actually cognate with our word putrid, meaning that it's something rotten. So we can imagine this, the mouth of this person is being eaten by worms, which is in some sort of decay. It's a rotting mouth. And I will let you, dear listener, sit with that image. So then there's a question here. King kamang akasi pube. King is our interrogative what? And it's actually going with kamang. Now, kamang is like our word karma, but this is an action. So, kamam akasi. And akasi, actually, kamam and akasi are from the same root. Akasi is the aorist, second person singular form of karoti, to do. For those of you who have studied any Greek, you'll notice how this aorist is in form very similar to the Greek sigma aorist, I guess first aorists, which have an augment, although their augment is an epsilon, and then it has this sigma infix. So it's very similar formation here. So very literally, what action did you do? We might just say, what did you do? Rather than specifying that, what action did you do? But again, I leave that up to you, dear listeners. And then we have this last word, pube, which just means before or formerly, and specifically meaning in your former existence. So that is where we are going to leave this today. In the next episode, we will get the response to this question. Peace, everyone.